So, friends, are you ready for some fun? Get ready to sing and learn and play with Bloom Bloom. What do you call a lazy kangaroo? A pouch potato. What do you call a fish with no eyes? FSH. What do you call an angry carrot? A steamed veggie. Get ready to sing and learn and play with Bloom Bloom.
As the journey continued, Lily noticed something else that fascinated her. Unlike the quiet chugging of the train, the bus seemed to be surrounded by a constant low hum. At first, she didn't know what it was. But then she put her little ear to the glass, and she heard it again. MMM, MMM, MMM. Do you hear that, Grandpa Joe? She whispered, her eyes wide with curiosity.
Ho, ho, ho!
Hear what, Lily-Bug? Grandpa Joe replied, leaning in. That low humming sound. What is it? She said, placing a finger on his lips. Then, after a moment, he whispered back, it's the sound of our bus tires rolling over the hot road. Can't hear it too well when we're inside, but out here, he said, stepping out of the bus at a stop, that's the music of the road.
Ho, ho, ho!
As he walked around the bus, gently tapping the tire, Lily heard it again. MMHMM, MMHMM. The rhythm seemed to match the beat of her own heart. It was a lullaby of motion, a song of movement and progress. We're like little snails, Lily said, watching Grandpa Joe, leaving a trail of music wherever we go. He chuckled, ruffling her hair. Not exactly like snails, my dear.
Ho, ho, ho!
We move much faster, don't we? And we leave behind the sound of adventure. Just then, a family boarded the bus. A mother with 2 giggling children, a father holding a bunch of flowers, and a fluffy dog that sat patiently at the mother's feet. Good afternoon, the mother said with a smile. These are the twins, Tom and Sam. And this is Honey. We're on our way to the park.
Ho, ho, ho!
Hello, Lily said, waving. Are you traveling for an adventure too? We sure are, the mother replied, helping her children settle down. We love riding the bus. It's such a fun way to get around. As the bus pulled away from the curb and the familiar hum returned, Lily leaned against her seat, watching the houses and trees go by. Everything seemed to have a story to tell.
Ho, ho, ho!
The playful architecture of the buildings, the parks where families gathered, the small shops filled with laughter, each place was a potential adventure. I think our boss is like a time traveler, Lily suddenly said, turning to Grandpa Joe. He looked at her. His eyebrows raised. What do you mean, Lily-Bug? Well, it takes us to all these different places.
Ho, ho, ho!
Each one is like a mini adventure, just like you said, she explained. A journey on this bus is like a journey through a storybook. He smiled, his eyes twinkling. A beautiful thought, Lily-Bug. And our journey is far from over. He gestured to the window. Outside, the city gave way to greener fields, and in the distance, she could see a big, bright castle with turrets that touched the clouds.
Ho, ho, ho!
Look, Grandpa Joe, there's a castle, and it looks like a fairy tale. Indeed, he said, reaching for her hand. And our adventure is taking us right to its gates. They watched in silence as the bus approached the castle. When they were close enough, Lily could even hear the faint strains of music.
Ho, ho, ho!
It sounded like harp strings dancing in the wind. As the bus came to a stop in front of the castle, the doors slid open and the driver announced, "This is your stop for the Festival of Lights and Laughter." Lily took a deep breath. She squeezed Grandpa Joe's hand. Her heart pounded with excitement.
Ho, ho, ho!
This was the moment they had been preparing for. They stepped off the bus and onto the path leading to the entrance of the castle grounds. The music from earlier was louder now, mingling with the joyous laughter of people. Fairy lights twinkled in the trees, Colorful flags fluttered in the breeze.
Ho, ho, ho!
The air buzzed with a sense of magic and community, while Lily breathed, her eyes shining. It really does feel like a fairy tale. It's just the beginning, Lily-Bug, Grandpa Joe whispered, his eyes twinkling. Now, let's go explore. They joined the crowd of people entering the castle grounds.
Ho, ho, ho!
Everywhere Lily looked, she saw sights that made her gasp. Stalls adorned with lanterns, and flags offered crafts, games, and tasty treats. Musicians played lively tunes, their instruments echoing the joy in people's hearts. Children ran with laughter, chasing each other around brightly colored fountains. The castle loomed above it all, majestic and welcoming.
Ho, ho, ho!
It's so beautiful, Lily whispered, reaching for Grandpa Joe's hand. He squeezed it gently, guiding her towards the center of the festivities. We're going to see so much tonight, he said. So many lights, so much laughter, so many stories waiting to be discovered.
Ho, ho, ho!
Lily couldn't wait to explore the festival of lights and laughter, to witness the magic of the castle and all the adventures that awaited them. She knew this journey, like all the ones before it, would become a story she treasured, a memory filled with the music of the road, the honk of the bus horn, and the laughter of friends.
Ho, ho, ho!
And as the evening deepened and the lights twinkled above her, Lily understood that journeys weren't just about the destination, but about all the songs, sounds, and stories that unfolded along the way. This grand adventure had brought them to a magical place, but it was all the little moments, the cars, the train, the bus, and the journey itself, that truly made it an unforgettable adventure.
Ho, ho, ho!
The big red bus rumbled along the highway, carrying Lily and Grandpa Joe on their journey to meet Auntie Bola. Outside the window, the scenery was a blur of colors and shapes. Houses gave way to fields, which gave way to more houses. It was a familiar sight to Lily, but she was beginning to feel restless. Are we there yet, Grandpa Joe? She asked for what felt like the 100th time.
Ho, ho, ho!
Patience, Lily-Bug, Grandpa Joe chuckled, his eyes twinkling. Good things come to those who wait. Besides, the journey is just as important as the destination. That's where the adventure is. Just then, the bus driver, a burly man with a bushy mustache, suddenly slammed on the brakes. The bus lurched forward, then settled with a bump. Hold on tight, dearies, he boomed with a hearty laugh.
Ho, ho, ho!
We've got a bit of a delay. Looks like we've got company. As Lily peered out the window, she noticed another bus approaching. It was bright red, just like theirs. And instead of seats, it had shelves stacked with boxes and crates. Wow, a bus full of boxes, Lily exclaimed. That's a cargo bus, Lily, Grandpa Joe said. It carries important things from factories and warehouses to shops and homes.
Ho, ho, ho!
Did you know that without cargo buses, we wouldn't have many of the things we need and love? Lily shook her head. I guess not, she said. Cargo buses are the backbone of moving things around, making sure we have everything we need, from the things we use every day to the food we eat. They work hard to keep our world supplied. The driver of the cargo bus gave a friendly wave.
Ho, ho, ho!
In return, and Lily waved back, thinking about all the things the bus was carrying. Suddenly, another vehicle pulled up beside them. It was long and sleek, shaped like a shiny silver arrow. Look! A rocket ship, Lily said, her eyes wide. Not quite, Grandpa Joe corrected. That's a coach bus. It carries passengers on long journeys, just like us.
Ho, ho, ho!
But whereas we're going to see Auntie Bola, the people on that bus might be going to visit their families or going on a holiday. Lily stared at the sleek bus, imagining the comfortable seats and the exciting journey that lay ahead for its passengers. "Will we ever get there?" Lily asked, glancing at the road stretching endlessly ahead.
Ho, ho, ho!
"Oh, Lily-Bug, we'll get there soon enough," Grandpa Joe said with a smile. "But remember, the journey is part of the adventure. We've already made so many discoveries, haven't we? The trucks, the cargo bus, and the coach bus. Every vehicle has a purpose and a story to tell." Just then, the engine of the bus they were on sputtered, and the driver sighed.
Ho, ho, ho!
"Looks like we've run out of fuel," he announced, turning off the engine. "Seems we'll be taking a little break until help arrives. This is what happens when you don't have enough petrol, Lily-Bug," Grandpa Joe said with a chuckle. "Sometimes journeys don't go exactly as planned, but don't worry. We're not stuck. We just need a bit of patience and some fuel."
Ho, ho, ho!
Lily looked around. They were parked next to a row of trees, and beyond that, she could see a small house. "Can someone come and help us, Grandpa Joe?" she asked, a little worried. "Of course they will, Lily," Grandpa Joe said reassuringly. "People are always willing to help when you're stuck. And I bet that house over there has a phone we can use to call for help."
Ho, ho, ho!
A friendly face appeared at the front door. It was an old man with twinkling eyes and a wide smile. "Hello there, folks," he called out. "Having a bit of trouble, I see. Why don't you come and sit on my porch while you wait? I've got some lemonade and some fresh cookies." "That's awfully kind of you," the bus driver replied with a smile.
Ho, ho, ho!
"Thank you." Soon, they were all sitting on the old man's porch, sipping lemonade and enjoying the cookies. "This lemonade is the best I've ever tasted," Lily said with a sigh. "It's special," the old man chuckled. "Made with rainwater collected from my roof. You see, I'm a retired engineer. I used to design all sorts of machines that move things from one place to another, like your bus."
Ho, ho, ho!
He gestured towards the bus with a wink. "I love moving things," he added with a smile. "It's such an important part of our lives." "Can you imagine if we couldn't move things from one place to another?" Lily shook her head. "Thinking of all the things that needed to be moved." "No way," she said with a grin, "my friend."
Ho, ho, ho!
Are you ready to hop aboard the big red bus again and embark on a new adventure with Lily? In our previous episode, Lily and her grandpa Joe, along with their faithful dog Barnaby, decided to take a ride on the famous big red bus, which turned out to be a magical experience. If you haven't already met them, be sure to check out the first part of their story before joining them on this new adventure.
Ho, ho, ho!
Now let's see what new discoveries await them as they continue to explore the world. Let's dive into the story. Chapter 9. The lesson learned later that evening, as the festival lights twinkled outside Auntie Bola's window and the distant sounds of music still drifted through the air, Lily snuggled on a soft armchair, Barnaby beside her, while Grandpa Joe and Auntie Bola chatted quietly. Lily felt full of new experiences, her mind buzzing with all the sights and sounds of the day.
Ho, ho, ho!
"Grandpa Joe," Lily said, her voice soft with contentment, "I saw so many things today. So many cars, and that long train, and the planes in the sky. And then all the people here, with their beautiful clothes and their dancing and their songs." Grandpa Joe smiled, his eyes gentle. "You certainly did, Lily-Bug. You saw how the world moves, didn't you?" "Yes," Lily nodded. "The cars are fast for nearby.
Ho, ho, ho!
And the trains are long for far away, and the planes go really far away. And the big red bus brought us here." "That's right," Grandpa Joe affirmed. "Each one of those vehicles has its own special purpose. A car is perfect for a family trip to the market, but you wouldn't take a car across an ocean, would you? Lily giggled. No. You'd need a plane for that. Exactly, he continued. And a train can carry hundreds of people or tons of goods, much more than a bus or a car.
Ho, ho, ho!
They all do different jobs, but they all help us travel, connect, and move things around the world. They're all important, each in their own way. He paused, then looked at Lily thoughtfully. And what about all the people you saw, Lily? On the bus, at the bus station, and here at the festival. Lily thought for a moment. They were all different. Some had different clothes, and some spoke different languages, and some played different music.
Ho, ho, ho!
But they were all happy, especially at the festival. Grandpa Joe nodded slowly. That's the other important part of our adventure, Lily. The world is like a big, beautiful puzzle, and every person, every place, and even every vehicle is a unique piece. When we travel and meet new people, we learn how all these pieces fit together to make our world so wonderful and full of interesting things.
Ho, ho, ho!
Even if they're different? Lily asked. Especially if they're different. Grandpa Joe emphasized. Imagine if every car was the same, or every person wore the same clothes, or sang the same song. How boring would that be? It's the differences that make life exciting and rich. The different ways people live, the different stories they have, the different ways they travel, it all adds up to a magnificent picture. He leaned forward, his voice gentle but firm.
Ho, ho, ho!
The most important lesson, Lilybug, is this: every journey is an adventure, and every person you meet has a story. When we open our eyes and our hearts to the different ways people live, travel, and celebrate, we learn to appreciate the amazing diversity of our world. And when we appreciate these differences, we find that we are all connected, like the different vehicles that help us get where we need to go, and the different people who make the world a vibrant, joyful place.
Ho, ho, ho!
Lily thought about the little boy with the dinosaur in the car, the girl waving from the train, the planes soaring to distant lands, and the drummers at the festival. She understood now. It wasn't just about getting from one place to another, it was about seeing and understanding the incredible variety of life, and how everything, no matter how different, played a part in the grand scheme of things.
Ho, ho, ho!
She smiled, a peaceful, knowing smile. Her adventure on the big red bus had taught her so much more than just about transportation. It had taught her about the world, and about connection. Chapter 10, Home with New Memories. The next morning, after one last delicious festival breakfast and many hugs with Auntie Bola, it was time for Lily and Grandpa Joe to begin their journey home. This time, as they boarded the big red bus, Lily looked out the window with new eyes.
Ho, ho, ho!
She still saw cars zipping by, but now she thought about the families inside them, or the people rushing to important meetings. She still saw the long, shiny railway tracks, and she imagined trains chugging along them, carrying goods and people across vast distances. She still looked up at the sky, searching for the majestic planes, knowing they were connecting continents and cultures high above.
Ho, ho, ho!
The bus itself felt different too. It wasn't just a big red vehicle. It was a friendly giant, a reliable friend that had carried them on their wonderful adventure. She noticed the bus driver's steady hands on the wheel, guiding them safely. She saw the other passengers, some new, some familiar from the journey there, each on their own path, but all sharing this ride together.
Ho, ho, ho!
As the familiar landmarks of her hometown began to appear, Lily felt a mix of happiness and a little bit of sadness that the adventure was ending. But the memories she had made, and the lessons she had learned would stay with her. When they finally arrived home, Lily's parents greeted them with big hugs. "How was your trip, Lilybug?" her mom asked. Lily took a deep breath, her eyes shining.
Ho, ho, ho!
"It was amazing, Mom. We rode on the big red bus, and we saw so many cars, and a long train, and planes in the sky. And we went to the Festival of Lights and Laughter, and there were dancers and drummers and so many beautiful clothes." "And what did you learn, my little adventure?" her dad asked, smiling. Lily looked at Grandpa Joe, who gave her a proud wink. "I learned that the world is like a big, beautiful puzzle," she began, remembering Grandpa Joe's words. "And every person,
Ho, ho, ho!
and every place, and even every vehicle is a unique piece. When we travel and meet new people, we learn how all these pieces fit together to make our world so wonderful and full of interesting things." Her parents looked at each other impressed. Grandpa Joe just beamed. That night, as Lily drifted off to sleep, Barnaby tucked under her arm, she thought about the big red bus, and the cars, and the trains, and the planes.
Ho, ho, ho!
She thought about the different people, the different songs, the different foods. And she knew that the world was a truly incredible place, full of endless adventures and wonderful connections, all waiting to be discovered, one journey at a time. And sometimes, the best way to start was simply by hopping on a big red bus. So ends the tale of Lily, her Grandpa Joe, and their extraordinary journey on the big red bus.
Ho, ho, ho!
Through their adventures, they not only explored the world around them, but also learned valuable lessons about diversity, acceptance, and the beauty of human connection. What did you think of their journey? Did you learn something new? Remember, just like Lily, we can find adventure and learning in everyday experiences. And who knows, maybe you'll find yourself taking an unexpected journey on a big red bus someday.
Ho, ho, ho!
Keep your eyes open for adventure and your heart open for learning. Thanks for watching. See you soon.
Ho, ho, ho!